got the blue futon, and I finally saw It Chapter 2. So, what's it about? It's pretty simple. It's the second movie in the It saga. There's only going to be 2 movies, and this is the final one. Who's in it? We have James McAvoy, we have Jessica Chastain, we have the Old Spice guy, we have Bill Hader, we have 2 other actors which I don't know off the top of my head, but they're actually pretty famous. You're like, oh, I recognize him in a movie, and I recognize him, and Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. So what I like about this movie, even though people are saying it's a 2-hour and 45-minute movie and it felt that long, I don't know if it really felt that long to my opinion. Like, to me, I was fine with the length. To me, I was okay with it. The acting was great with who they cast. Like I said, all 6 of the losers are perfectly casted. They look just like their counterparts. It looks thumbs up. I didn't have an issue with the flashbacks as well because people say, oh, there is CGI to make him younger. Maybe I'm just bad glasses, or they're old, or they had some little like speckles on it. But I didn't really notice the CG, effect to make him look younger. I guess the main issue with this movie was a couple things because I haven't read the book 100%. I did read maybe the first 300 pages. So what I learned from the book and from what I saw in this movie, even though it was only the first 300 pages, there's some weird stuff to it. For example, the first scene in this movie where it had the gay couple getting beat up and thrown off the bridge. Yes, that is in the original book. But I don't know what that scene has to do with anything in this movie. I don't know if that was a whole scene to start off that Pennywise is back. But you would expect, like, because in the book there's a cop scene of, like, they're interviewing all these people, and they're also interviewing the couple. The one that got thrown off the bridge, of course, died by Pennywise, and of course the other guy. They interview him and Dury, and they try to figure out what's happening and what's going on. So you were, like, wondering, why is that scene in the movie? Is it trying to build up on something you expect it to go somewhere, but it kind of just stops? You're like, okay, so I have that scene. I don't know if that was a scene because Stephen King wanted to be in the movie, because he actually was in the movie as well. Other things in these movies, I was expecting more Pennywise as a whole. Of course, Pennywise was in the movie a couple of times, but it just felt like for a 2-hour and 45-minute movie, there wasn't a lot of Pennywise. It was more of what each loser's fear was. And like I said before, that could be part of the book, but I didn't read the book because it's like 1,200 pages, and I'm like, oh my god, can I read 1,200 pages? And there's a lot of characters like switch back and forth, and I felt like, if I can't even read a Harry Potter book because I don't understand what it's saying, you expect me to read this? Anyway, I'm diversing really, really bad. My dog is walking around everywhere right now. Anyway, so, like I said, it was a good movie. I liked what it gave. To me, it felt, even though it was 2 hours and 45 minutes, it did not feel 2 hours and 45 minutes to me. I enjoyed how each of them had to get their artifacts of what made them fearful. I did enjoy that aspect because you got to get to know a little bit more of the characters as well. And I know that, like I said, there's a lot of people like mishmashing of like what they didn't like and what they did like in this movie. But like I said, the main things I did like in this movie were the acting, the atmosphere, the actual just tone of the movie. It was pretty funny. Also, though, for a scary movie, it really wasn't that scary and bloody. I was expecting a lot more bloody in the movie because, like, out of deaths in this one, there's really only 3 deaths, like kid deaths in this one, and it wasn't as emotionally gripping as it was in the first one. I don't know if it was because you're playing with adults now and none of it was really that scary, because adults with the guy that is scared of Whopper, adults with spiders now, adults with childhood trauma, and adults with, what was the other one, the token thing. And it really doesn't explain, like, Bill Hader's character. There's something that happens in the movie where with the lumberjack, you're like, are they going to say what's going to happen? But they kind of leave it to like the viewer's imagination of what's actually going to happen. So it's one of those things where you just don't know. Pennywise, I don't know why I was expecting it to be more in the movie. I know a lot of people were, the ending was anticlimactic. I enjoyed the ending for what it was because it actually showed a kind of a conclusion. And sometimes movies don't have conclusions anymore. Of like, they'll be like, oh, but he's in the back seat, or what is that right there? And it's kind of refreshing to have a movie that just says, you know what, we are not going to make any more. It is done, period, dot. So I did enjoy that as well. So It Chapter 2 overall, to me, it wasn't a bad movie. 2 hours and 45 minutes wasn't a bad length for this movie. The acting was good in this movie. The atmosphere was good in this movie. What was negative, I was expecting a little bit more Pennywise for a 2 hour and 45 minute movie. too much CGI in my opinion. Like movies like this, they go hardcore CGI, which I know they kind of have to with what they're trying to show in this movie. Oh, and we'll just go that as well. I don't know if that whole part of the Native American scene is in the book. That's what I kind of want to figure out, because if that's the reason how, and they don't really explain to me who it is. Like, it is a clown, but not really a clown. It metamorphs into what you're fearful of. But what actually are the three orbs? Like, where do they come from? Are they aliens? Okay, if it's alien, cool. Why is it only one spot? Is it just manifest one spot for 27 years? Why 27 years? I don't know if I completely missed it, but something like that. Also, I was like watching, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So these three orbs, these Native Americans know about it, but when it's on this little thing, I don't know. Like I said, something just felt more silly to me. Like, it was really goofy. Like a lot of other Stephen King books, like you have Mr. Mercedes. It's a great movie, or great book, sorry, but I'm read the second one, going to the third one, and I know it's going to go into supernatural, weird territories. Same with The Outsider, with one of his books. It was a vampire one. I liked it because it's kind of a vampire one. My nose itches really bad, through and through. But with it, you're expecting kind of like a fearful thing. Like, the kids, their fear, there's something in the ground, there's these orbs. But then when they actually explain it in this one, what the orbs are and what they have to do and what it actually metamorphs into, you're like, huh. Kind of weird. I don't know if it's believable. Even though it's not really believable, you can still make a horror movie believable. If vampires exist, you make it believable. Werewolves exist. But for some reason, these three orbs metamorphosing, it just felt cheap for me. But overall, it was a fun movie. I didn't mind the length, like the acting, like the writing. A little bit too much CGI, a little needed more Pennywise, and just the whole orb thing kind of threw me off guard of what it actually is. So It, Chapter 2, will receive a 3 out of 5 blue futons, equals at 60%. So see the critics' news scores gave this film. It is a 62% with the critics, with 322 of them. And user scores is 79% with 20,395. And here's the critic consensus. It, Chapter 2 provides bigger, doesn't always mean scarier for horror sequels, but a fine cast and faithful approach to the source material keeps this follow-up afloat. Yeah, I have to agree then, because like I said, I haven't read the book. And if that's true, like, I don't know if people are mad about what I'm mad about, the reasoning behind the orbs and explaining that, or they're like, they don't like how everyone had their own nice ending. To me, it was just the orb scene of like, I'm fine with everyone having a nice ending. Thumbs up. But it's the orb thing, I'm like, like, it doesn't explain as much as I want it to explain. Like I said, maybe the book doesn't even explain. Maybe it's supposed to be your imagination of, why is my nose itching so bad? But yeah, I heard there's going to be like a supercut where it's like mixing them both together with deleted scenes and, morphing the first one with the second one and first one, kind of like a real timeline. And that'd be pretty cool, actually, because it does feel like I said, that some stuff was left out with the flashbacks. And then some people are like, are the flashbacks needed with the second one? Or should it be more of an adult story? To me, if I had to choose, I would get rid of the kids in the second one and make it more of an adult story. But I'm not the director, so you can't blame me. But like I said, like the first scene in this movie, to me, just went nowhere. And like Bill Hader's as well. But like I said, do you agree with the 62, the 60, or the 79? Is it the 79? Yeah. Chase out the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. And let me know what you think of Blue Futonatopia, you Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. And I still need to see the Goldfinch, Angels Has Fallen, Hobbs and Shaw, and this weekend is Rambo, and Ad Astra. So I gotta see a couple more. And Brittany runs a marathon, and